Go.
We start with the punch. Omicron variant. Travel bans looms as Canada detects Nigeria-linked cases. The riders FD threatens stiffer punishment for travellers with fake coronavirus vaccination card. Another one, sending samples to South Africa disgraceful, shows NCDC lacks national pride. Tomari, page 2. That's what the story is.
Professor Tomari is just very angry about the way. I shouldn't use the word angry. He's tried to explain that it's our fault in this country. The way we have responded to COVID has not been the best way. Apart from having a first national response by setting up the PTF and trying to tackle infections, there are other things to do. Genomic sequencing, he says, tracking, the existence of the coronavirus. It was an important thing for the country to do. No, even when they need to do genome sequencing, they take it to South Africa. That's to take it to South Africa. He's saying that there are labs in Nigeria that could have helped, and then easy to track these cases. South Africa might be in the center of the world today because this new Omicron started from there. But even the world is hailing South Africa. Yesterday, Ursula von der Leyen, the president of the European Commission, paid tribute to South Africa, and she said it's their genomic sequencing program they already have. That ensure that they found out quickly enough about Omicron and share data with the world, inform WHO that this is what we're seeing is a new strain, and it is not the normal beta, strain of the virus. So he's saying that why can't Nigeria be a country like that solves the problem initially and continues to solve the problem? Professor Tomari is saying that, for instance, that he believes that after the Presidential Task Force was disbanded and became the Presidential Steering Committee, the work for genomic sequencing has indeed ended. And then he's wondering why the NCDC today is very uninterested. Every sample they have to conduct a genomic sequencing, they take to South Africa. And the question has already been asked about the new NCDC under this new Dr. Fedayo. It appears very inactive compared to the days of Dr. Yakwasu, for instance. Maybe it's early days for him. Maybe without Twitter, I can share information, because I think information sharing is one big way to try to cope with the myriad of problems that COVID comes with. I don't know yet. You don't need to blame him. Maybe it's early days, but you cannot compare with the days of Dr. Yakwasu, who appear to have the capacity and experience, to deal with this COVID issue all around. So that's one, Professor Tomari. The bigger area, are the big questions of Omicron. Is it in Nigeria? Canada said 2 people who arrived from Nigeria have tested positive and are in isolation. The Nigerian government is asking yesterday how. There are direct flights from Nigeria to Canada. So how did they arrive from Nigeria? They could arrive from anywhere. They could have spent 1 week in Houston, Texas, or in Atlanta before they flew to Canada. And they could have cut it from there. If it was in Nigeria, I would have noticed them, because they would have done a PCR test at the airport before they left. These are the major issues with Omicron now. Questions have been asked as to where is the real origin. Botswana, maybe Hong Kong, maybe, but the world is reacting the way they want. Almost, half of the countries of the world today now are shutting out flights from South Africa, including countries in Africa, Rwanda, Angola.
Yeah.
Even the Seychelles, have announced that flights to Africa cannot land in their country anymore. The entire 27 EU bloc, have voted to of course shut their airspace to South Africa. South African government is lamenting, you can't do this to us, you can't treat us badly, it's discriminatory, because we found what the problem is and told you, but now the victim, But the world is remembering Wuhan in 2019. They remembered how China, managed to keep this to itself until it went out, and then the pandemic. So nobody really wants that kind of problem. Look at what Japan has done. Completely shut its airspace to all foreigners. At the time, Japan was supposed to reopen today, November 30th, to foreign students, to short-term business people, and to tourists. But they said, no, we're going back to where we are, like our country. New Zealand was going to take a decision to reopen the country, no. So even Israel has shut down completely. Countries are reacting the best way they can to this problem, because better late than never. And that's why the question has come to Nigeria. What is Nigeria doing? The PTF or the PSC today, the Presidential Steering Committee, said they will brief Nigerians to do new measures. And people are saying that, is it not getting too late? Anyway, the South Africans are already here. I heard that Cyril Ramaphosa, the president of South Africa, arrived today to a state banquet, to a big dinner in Abuja. He's not going to come alone. He has to come with a big team, most of them from South Africa. the army in Abuja have issued a statement to say, Abuja people, don't panic if you hear gunshots today. It's 21 gun salute for President Ramaphosa. So the Nigerian government has put in all stops to welcome the South Africans at a time when the world is raising an alarm about maybe we should be slow, in welcoming people into our country. Now, maybe we should also shut the airspace to places where it is risk, where Botswana, Eswatini, Namibia, South Africa. Those places in Southern Africa where this Omicron is already. The numbers are counting. South Africa has already over 100 cases. The same with Botswana. But I don't know. The Nigerian government thinks better. President Buhari, for him, this meeting with the South Africans, the Nigeria-South Africa Binational Commission appears to be very important. Professor Buhari has warned that we can cancel this meeting, we can postpone it, we can hold it virtually. It's not important enough than to deal with the outcome of new infections in Omicron that we cannot manage. We don't know yet. The disease is still as disguising as it is. Nobody has been able to say that if it kills faster, if it's easier, faster in transmissibility and all that. Nobody has been able to say. People are watching. So countries are cautious. So you cannot blame the United States, for instance, for shutting their airspace out to South Africa, all other countries. You really cannot blame them. People have to protect themselves. I think that's what Nigeria should do. Protect yourself.
Indeed. Electoral Act Amendment, Buhari writes, INEC seeks advice on direct primaries, others. And of course, Commission has 7 days to respond to Buhari's letter. President will consult all stakeholders. Buhari spokesman, it's 7, the Punch.
I read that story, Diako, and I think that is the current situation with the Electoral Act Amendments bill. President received it. He received it November 19. He has 1 month to either sign it into law or write the National Assembly and reject it and tell them I'm not signing because of this, and this. And the National Assembly also will have the power and the authority to override his veto. If by 2/3 majority they can, vote and pass it. This is how the law works. This is how bills are passed. But the president will not just sign because National Assembly has. But he will consult. He will look at the fine aspects of the bill. He will use a fine-tooth comb, to check the fine lines. Remember what happened in 2015 electoral amendment? He didn't sign because he didn't write this English well. And all that. He had complaints about it. Yeah. So I think this also happens. So he's consulting key stakeholders. The Attorney General of the Federation first is the first person, I'm sure, will get a letter from the president with the bill. Help us look at the legal implications of all of these amendments. And then the president that he has now also written to INEC, the Independent National Electoral Commission, on the direct primary aspect of that bill. Because it is no longer a hidden secret that if the direct primary as a proposition in the amendment is passed, then INEC will have to, as per the law, monitor how the political parties conduct their primaries. INEC says there are 8,806 political wards in Nigeria today, and they will need 2 people at each ward if political parties are conducting primaries. That's 16,000 staff. INEC doesn't have a common 16,000 staff. So they have to plan. The president have asked them, advise me, will you be able to do this? It's going to be very cumbersome. But INEC has already spoken before the president sent that letter. The chairman of INEC, spokesperson for INEC, Dr. Koyi, the head of their voter monitoring, said that if push comes to shove, they will have to recruit NYSC members as ad hoc officials for that kind of exercise. And again, the political parties will not hold the primaries the same day. So at the end of the day, I think if President Buhari wants advice from INEC, I think INEC would probably be positive about the fact that they can't do this. But INEC also need funds. I've heard officials of INEC say that the 2019 election, the budget was 150 billion. For the 2023, you will need 350 billion because almost all the offices in most parts of the country, right southeast, are gone. Computers gone, generators gone. They will have to restock, rebuild, and get ready for a general election. That is nationwide. So they will need more funds. And if they have to do also participate in conducting primaries for political parties, that again that this is more funding. So if INEC is going to acquiesce to Mr. President's request, whatever the president wrote in the letter, then I'm sure they will attach it with request for more funding. So we'll see how it pans out. But the president must consult. He cannot take the decision alone to agree to sign the bill into law without consulting key stakeholders.
Okay.
Did you enjoy this video? Hit the subscribe button for more, leave a comment, and like. Thank you.